Hello, brothers and sisters. I am Ogre6, here to wish you a happy Ed Wood Day. You guys don't celebrate Ed Wood Day, do you? That's okay. I don't celebrate any of your holidays either. I like to make my own holidays. Some correspond with mainstream holidays, so I won't feel left out while other folks are partying and eating good. But most are just me taking a little time to think about things that are important to me. Now I know what you're thinking. Sure, I get that, but Ed Wood? I mean, yeah, it's fun to sit around getting high and laughing at his movies, but does he deserve his own day for that? Well, in the first place, yeah, but that isn't why he has his own day. It's natural for us to have heroes, folks we respect, and maybe even try to pattern ourselves after. There are some lives from which we can take lessons as to how to live our own lives. I've got several folks I look up to, from Emma Goldman to Bertrand Russell, but my real number one has always been this guy, Eugene Victor Debs. In case you were cheated out of a proper history education, he was a labor leader around the turn of the last century. He ran for president 4 times, the last time while he was a political prisoner, a 70-year-old man sentenced to hard labor for opposing U.S. involvement in World War I. In that last campaign, run from prison, he got nearly 1 million votes. That's pretty impressive. Gene might not be your hero, but you've probably got one. Maybe you're partial to Dr. King, or Margaret Mead, or Cesar Chavez, whoever. There are any number of suitable choices, but they all have this in common. They set the bar for success a bit high. It's hard to measure up. They had failures just like the rest of us, but the failures aren't what we remember. For example, raise your hand if the first thing you think when I show you this picture is, oh yeah, that's the guy who lost the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games to the Pistons back in 1990. Now look around you, brothers and sisters. Do you see any hands raised? Of course not. We remember the rings and the game winners and the Sports Illustrated covers. This is Michael Jordan. This is not. It's very American to think that we can achieve whatever we want if we put our minds to it. It's a pleasant thought, but it isn't true, is it? The fact is that these were extraordinary people, and most of us just aren't extraordinary. If we were, we'd need a new word. Ed Wood was not extraordinary, and yet when I mentioned him at the beginning of this video, I didn't have to tell you who he was. You know his name, and you know his work, even if you've never seen it. You know him as the worst director ever. He was not the worst. I'm something of an expert on bad movies, and I can name a dozen worst filmmakers off the top of my head, but here's the thing. Directors this bad usually make 1 or 2 films and give up, but not Wood. He made more films than Stanley Kubrick. Anyone else would have found another job, but Wood loved what he was doing. That's why his work was so memorable. Worst director ever is very much an affectionate title. There are Ed Wood festivals every year all over the world. There's a Church of Ed Wood, which I'll totally join if I ever find myself in need of religion. Johnny Depp played him in a movie. That's pretty serious business. His masterpiece, Plan 9 from Outer Space, is still popular enough to warrant a fancy new 50th anniversary DVD release. It came out the same year as Anatomy of a Murder, Suddenly Last Summer, and Some Like It Hot. All excellent movies, but how many internet discussion groups have you seen dedicated to them? Ed Wood has hundreds. How far would you travel to attend a screening of Ben-Hur? When the new print of Plan 9 was shown in San Diego 2 years ago, people came from all over the world to see it. It really was a labor of love for him, and you can feel that while you watch his movies. Yes, he was terrible, he was bankrupt and ridiculed, but he just kept throwing everything he had into making movies. That's what makes Ed Wood my hero, and that's why he deserves his own day. Think about it. Anyone can make his mark on the world if he's got talent, vision, and genius, but Ed Wood made his mark without those things. All he had was intransigence and a dream. To me, that's far more inspiring. Ed Wood makes no empty promises to us. The lesson of his career is that if we pursue our dreams with passion and determination, if we commit ourselves body and soul to the things we love, if we ignore the people who say we're no good even when we know they're right, we will still fail most of the time. We might fail every time. Sometimes, though, we can fail gloriously.
home. I have no home. Hunted, despised, living like an animal. The jungle is my home. That I will show the world that I can be its master. I will perfect my own race of people. A race of atomic supermen which will conquer the world.
Today is Ed Wood's birthday. I hereby declare, according to the power vested in me by nobody, that henceforth October 10th shall be Ed Wood Day. Who'd like to celebrate it with me? Share some bad movies with some good people tonight, brothers and sisters, and remember to cherish your failures. They might turn out to be the most precious things you have.